Critical race theory. What is it? Why should I care? What can I do about it? All questions we'll answer in this video. But before we get started, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon to be notified when a new video comes out. But above all, share this video on all platforms. This is serious business, but the sooner we confront it, the sooner it is on the ash heap of history with all the other really bad ideas. Links to all the clips I play will be in the description of this video, along with a link to Christopher Rufo's excellent article in Imprimis, Critical Race Theory, What It Is and How to Fight It. Chris Rufo is one of several heroes leading the charge against the pervasive influence that is CRT. Here's Chris Rufo speaking to its origin as it exists in our public school system.
Critical race theory, the kind of analogous movement in education, is from a Brazilian Marxist theoretician named Paulo Freire. And he wrote a book called Pedagogy of the Oppressed that's actually being used in curriculum design in school districts all over the country. And the idea is that teachers should use the kind of their kind of primary pedagogical aim should be to instill critical consciousness in their students, to show them who the oppressor is, to educate them in their experience of oppression. And then as they get older, they'll be able to transform that critical consciousness into revolutionary activism, actually naming and overthrowing oppressive systems and institutions. And they're applying that to the American context, basically saying the American Constitution, American law, American social customs are fundamentally illegitimate, dating back to 1619, and they have to be overthrown through revolutionary activity.
In this next clip, Mark Lamont Hill asks, what makes CRT state-sanctioned racism?
Yeah, I think it's an accurate description because critical race theory, as it's practiced in institutions, as it's adopted in places like public schools, engages in practices that can only be described by any rational person as a form of state-sanctioned racism. In San Diego, they told teachers, quote, "You are racist, you are upholding racist ideas," simply because of the color of their skin. In Cupertino, California, for example, they separated third graders. These are 8 and 9-year-olds. They forced them to deconstruct their racial and sexual identities and then separated them into people who had power and privilege and people who did not. And finally, a place like even Springfield, Missouri, not exactly a blue city or a blue state, they told white male Christian teachers that by their inborn characteristics, they were inherently oppressors and had to atone for their covert white supremacy. Again, not judging people on their behavior, their character, their actions, their beliefs, just judging them on inborn characteristics, particularly race.
So you can dive as deep as you want into the reams of written material and thousands of hours of videos on YouTube on both sides of the story. Or you could watch a hilarious and highly accurate video by J.P. Sears on the topic. Here's a clip of that.
Critical race theory is a movement that seeks to bring about racial unity by creating more racial division. Now let's break some of this down and dive deeper, shall we? Racism occurs in all interactions. It's always present. That's why you have to look for it critically. And if critical race theory is correct, that racism is present in all interactions, then after you find it, the racism will still be present. But at least now you can be angry about it.
But seriously, if we ignore this irritant because we're fearful of being called racists and white supremacists, the implications are quite serious. It is in our schools and they are aiming at revolution. That means everything we enjoy and take for granted in our free America will be gone. Look to Venezuela as a preview and add racial death squads. What this is leading to is not new. Here's Jordan Peterson on the danger of identity politics and how it has played out earlier in our history.
I was trying to figure out why the Russian Revolution went wrong so rapidly, because it went wrong right from the beginning. When you're interrogating a member of the bourgeoisie to decide whether they constitute an enemy of the state, you don't give any credibility to such niceties as individual guilt or innocence. All you care about is their group and their background and their economic status. And if they're in the wrong group, the bourgeoisie, then that's it. That's the end of them. The intersectional claim is that, you know, each person has more than one group identity. Maybe you can be put into 6 different groups. We already talked about that a little bit. But here's the bloody rub. If I put you in 6 groups, in one of those groups you're a victimizer. You can bloody well bet on it. And then here's the next rule. If you're a victimizer among any possible dimension of analysis, then it's the gulag for you. And so that's the fundamental danger of that group identity, victimizer, victim narrative, is that you fragment your identity in multiple dimensions. You'll find out that you're a victimizer, and then everyone's a criminal, and then everyone's guilty. That's exactly what happened in Russia.
Yes, critical race theory is incredibly dangerous. Ignoring it can result in the deadly repetition of history. But it is easily dispatched by a tiny bit of your time and courage, like this woman's.
I'm a Fairfax County public school teacher, and I'm going to give a message of encouragement to parents and teachers and students who are too afraid to come and speak forward. Parents, the longer that you wait and you don't hold your child's schools accountable gives these guys more time to dictate what's best for your child's physical, mental, and emotional health. Don't be afraid to speak out for your kids because they are voiceless and they rely on you. You should be afraid of them rooting for socialism by the time they get to middle school. Teachers, it may seem that our careers have come to a dead end, but I'm here to remind you we don't work for the school board. We work to mold the next generation of well-rounded American patriots. So don't give up, because it is up to us. Students, you are on the front lines of these indoctrination camps. Challenge the staff when you're presented with a ludicrous statement, and do not allow anybody to tell you that you cannot accomplish anything because of your skin color or to hate yourself because of your skin color. Students, it is up to you to be the next generation of victims or victors. And finally, to the board, this isn't over, and your policies are just as making us wear a mask.
Nick Gofford, followed by Ryan.
Damn, she has balls. They can't respond to that. They are weak and pathetic, and they cannot stop you if you just bother to show up and speak your mind. Hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for more videos like this one. See you next time.